to read this letter in its entirety, because I want the record to be kept so that anybody who listens, they must see at what length did we go to try to take care that this document or the transition, it covers everything. Now, it reads that, can I proceed, Chair? This letter is, and it is written to the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence. That is now after I received from the National Commissioner that says, please communicate to the team. And I forwarded to the Divisional Commissioner. Now, the National Commissioner says, I spoke to General Rabi to assist him. Now, General Rabi writes a letter that on my behalf, and this is how the letter reads. And you will also, we can read that one that was compiled by General Kumalo on instruction of the National Commissioner, and the House can decide which one, in fact, make more sense and more effective. But it says deactivating and disbandment of the National Task Team on Political Killings. The South African Police Service established the National Task Team on Political Killings, NTKPP, to address the concerning rise in politically motivated murders and related crimes involving political figures. This specialized task team was dedicated to investigating, resolving, preventing such incidents to ensure justice and maintain political stability in affected areas. On the 31st of December 2024, the Minister of Police issued a directive to the National Commissioner to immediately deactivate and disband the NTKPP. This decision was informed by an assessment that the task team no longer significantly contributed to policing efforts. The directive requires immediate compliance with appropriate measures to be undertaken to ensure the effective disbandment of the NTKPP in accordance with current prescripts in this regard. These measures must ensure that ongoing investigations are not disrupted or compromised. Now, that was our top priority, both myself and the National Commissioner, that investigations are not compromised. Monitoring and oversight. A temporary transition team must be established to oversee the disbandment process and address any arising challenges. This team must regularly report progress on the status of the disbandment to the Divisional Commissioner for Detective Service and facilitate communication between NTKPP, the Division Detective and Forensic Service, and other business units. A final audit must be conducted to ensure all cases and resources have been appropriately managed during a transition and appended to the closing report. Accountability. Effective immediately, all investigative personnel of the NTKPP PK responsible for case dockets are directly accountable to the Divisional Commissioner for Detectives and Forensic Service until they are assigned or reassigned to alternative units. This personnel will remain responsible for all investigations and resources allocated to them until a formal handover is completed in accordance with the established protocol. Now, this must indicate already that this was not saying immediate now. The same arrangement applies to crime intelligence and other personnel who will be accountable to the relevant divisional and provincial commissioners until final arrangements are communicated. Now, case handing over. Comprehensive handover protocol for all ongoing investigation must be established and implemented in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service. This protocol should include complete case files, evidence, and related documentation. Additionally, detailed records of all handover investigations must be maintained and appended to the final report. Assignment of cases. And as you can see, it's talking about the final report, which means the report is still coming at some point, but we are not yet there. Assignment of cases. All case dockets must be hand-delivered to a location designated by the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service, who must establish a secure repository for case files and evidence to ensure continuity and prevent any loss or tampering. These dockets will then be reallocated to appropriate investigation unit within the capacity to continue the investigation. The point that I want to raise in this paragraph, it says, they must be delivered to a location designated by the Divisional Commissioner for forensics, not to my office. The second point that I want to indicate here is that the docket will then be reallocated to appropriate investigative unit with their capacity to continue, as they indicated even in Parliament that they will take them to murder and robbery unit, and this is what is supported by the work study investigation that has been approved by the National Commissioner himself on the 6th of June 2025. Personnel redeployment. The Pktt members must be reassigned to other units within SAPS in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service and other relevant divisional and provincial commissioners. Detailed record of deployment personnel must be maintained and apprehended to final report. To me, the SAPS was going to benefit from these members because wherever they go, they will re-establish the same time of approach, but the country will benefit. Equipment and vehicles redistribution. All equipment vehicles allocated to the NTKPP must be redistributed to other units within the South African Police Service in consultation with the Divisional Commissioner for Detective and Forensic Service and other relevant divisional and provincial commissioners. Detailed record of the redistribution resources must be maintained and appended to the final report. You can imagine how many vehicles were bought. Millions of rands were bought for this Pktt, but if those cars, those resources were to be redistributed to fight the crime, be it in KZN is still fine, or to the murder and robbery unit, so that the same work can continue. Stakeholder communications. All internal and external stakeholders must be notified in writing about disbandment of the NTKPT, the transition plan for ongoing cases, and the future protocol. Now, here we are saying, we must remember that General Mkhwanazi suggested that the NPA were not informed, but here...
General, I thought that when you made reference to that piece of evidence, you will say to the member, there is this memorandum that was in circulation in the police services, is dated 2025, March or April. And the key areas that I want to bring to the attention of the member are the following. That is why I made that intervention, so that you must not leave here saying, I wanted to bring the following information to the attention of the members, but it's like they were not interested. Because you can imagine if you read that letter from beginning to end, I don't know. What are the areas of emphasis?
It's only 2 pages that is left, and they are not many, they are just short sentences. But what is important is also for the public to know that every step was taken to make sure that these dockets are not going to suffer, and there's a clear plan on the table on how to deal with this, because the political killing task team, it cannot live forever. It should not be a permanent structure. It's a task team.
And that helps to answer the question of the member. Remember, the question is that you must demonstrate that there were no 2 plans.
Yes.
Between the police commissioner and yourself.
Actually, Chair, we passed that. We're on the part where I'm asking if DPCI, NPA, and crime intelligence were consulted. I think the party is reading that all stakeholders must be notified through writing. I think we can take it from there now.